And hello, everybody. Welcome to June 25th, the full moon. Whoop! And there's an announcement, and I really want to have this celebration right now. That this is one of my dreams, you guys. I've been studying the elements since the beginning of time. It's not true. I started when I would love to, do you ever have the idea of like rewinding your life and going back to a certain moment that you could see it again? Aloha, aloha, all of you. When I was in my early 20s, so cute to think about, I found a spiritual group that was something of a cult. I came to find out later. And they taught the four elements. So it was introduced to me at a very young age. And now I am bringing it to you. Here we are in the chat room. If you press participants and, panelists and attendees, we can all see what you're writing. Hello from, there's Patricia from Washington, Sedona, Ireland. I love this. Jennifer, Kaylee from Portland, Paige, Kathy, waving to you, Cheryl, Georgina, Joy, Sally, Maria, Suzanne, and Debbie, and Heather, and Dominique, and Deb Costa, and oh my God, I just saw you, Kim, Penny, Jaguar, Paula, Stephen, Emily, Sue, Lila, Yvette, Kathy, Lisa, Karen, Michelle. Oh my God, Megan, Sandy. How fast can I go? Laura, Kristen, Carol, Lee Taylor, Claire, Kim Crone, Kathy. There's Kathy. Please turn option. I don't know how to give you words. I can't put the Julie, Sarah, Lauren. Happy full moon to you, Danette. Kathy Madsen. Julia from Amsterdam, Elizabeth from Cincinnati. Okay, you guys, we've got about 300, 400 people in here. I'm going to make this very valuable for your time. San Miguel, Arlette, Bronwyn, Ava Goodman. You are so loyal, Ava Goodman. Danielle, Rita. I can't believe you guys are it makes me so honored that you're all here, that we have like almost 400 people in this room. There is someone from the UK, Cynthia, Sabrina, Martha, Debbie from Modesto, California. Welcome, all of you. Thank you for being here on this full moon. Gavin, please tell your moderator to turn on auto caption on for free. We don't know how to do that, or do you know how to do that? Okay, you're amazing. Why wouldn't we be here? Thank you so much. You're so sweet. We can't turn on the captions. No captions. Okay, here we go. Let's start. We're right on time. Jackie from Michigan, Michelle from UK. All right. I started this whole adventure with the elements when I was in my early 20s. And I was in that awkward phase that we spend most of our life in, where you don't really know who you are and you feel like you're uncomfortable. And then what happened was, I swallowed them. I took in the conversation about the elements as though I was learning my name for the first time, like water, air, earth, and fire. There is nothing in my lifetime that has been more meaningful to me at every single situation I'm in. So I want to transfer that skill set to you. Part of my gift as a healer, as a communicator, as an author, as an astrologer, as a mom, as a friend, as a wife, whatever role I've played, has been understanding other people's elemental constitution. And while you think it's to go learn astrology, and it is to learn astrology, which is coming in August and September, you will really dive deep into the chart. This conversation during the month of July is a life-changing promise. If you're willing to take this class, here's the deal. Do we have, Laurel, if they sign up now, they get something, a gift? Because that's usually how it goes. If they sign up right after. I'm new from Denison, Ohio, kind of new at this. What is the gift, Laurel? Can you tell us what it is they're going to get if you sign up today? They get the Progress Moon class. Okay, thank you, Melinda. So here's the announcement. If you sign up after this, so let's just first start with the elements. You don't have to know any astrology at all. And some of you are steeped in astrology, but you've got to review the elements. It's been going on since I was in my 20s. And do you know why? because there's nothing more practical than being able to get all four wheels on the car grounded. So if you have one wheel off, the thing goes off. So back when I was young, when I was in my 20s, it's such a funny story to think about. And Laurel, who's monitoring this talk right now, knew me in my 20s. I was very self-conscious, and you all can tell me this is true for you. I was self-conscious about my personality, and in my situation, it was because of my fire. So I didn't understand it because I didn't speak astrology like fluently. Like I didn't really, I just knew I had fire in my chart, but no one ever isolated the elements the way we do in level 1 to actually figure out what was the part of me. It wasn't my missing element. That's my book. And any of you in this room, you can go on my website and I will send you my book signed with a chart in it. But that book was specifically about the elements because it isn't just the astrology that's required to get those four wheels back on. Once I realized that I was self-conscious about the very nature of my personality, this is the nature of this conversation. What's the weird part of me that I don't like? So the weird part of me was that I had excessive emotional fiery energy. It was kind of a combo of fire and water that I suffered from. Like I felt so deeply, and I was not allowed to cry in my household when I was growing up. So I had this deep emotional sensitivity that had been suppressed. And then I had this unbelievable amount of fire that showed up as the cheerleader and the gymnast and the performer. And I was in plays and I was the one in front of the room. And yes, my fire was there under the role of the performer, dancer, whatever. But I was not comfortable in my life dealing with my sensitivity, which I had no understanding of. I had no emotional wisdom, which is what you're going to learn and Meet the Planets. What do you do if you're a highly emotional person? You're secretive. You don't feel much. You feel too much. You go numb at inappropriate times. You can't cry, or you cry all the time. What do you do with all that stuff? Well, we're going to talk about that in Meet the Elements. I'm going to give you concrete steps of the way that I mastered and reached peace with my emotional body. Now, I use the word mastered. It doesn't mean I don't get my feelings hurt, that I don't cry a lot, that I don't want to be alone and feel overwhelmed with stimulation like water people do. But I learned the methodology, the practical skills, which is what I'm going to teach you every week. We're going to go through each element. And I'm going to say to you, this is the doorway out into clarity, into enlightenment, into healthiness. Who tells us these things? So back then, 1, I didn't understand why I was so sensitive. 2, I was secretive to myself about it. And 3, the biggest problem is that I was self-conscious about my fire. Like I'm too much. I have too much energy and I got in trouble all the time. So yes, the book helps you. It's a very clear, the missing element helps you. But this talk, I'm so excited about starting July 15th that we're going to give you, and I'm going to talk about the gift you're going to get. But this talk is, what is the practical way to actually take the element that's either missing or it's too much, it goes both ways, to grow it and to reach the expression of where it's healthy and it's wonderful and it makes you feel like you're free. So I think what I want you to hear is there is a way out. For those of you who are self-conscious, raise your hand if you're self-conscious. You're at a party and you feel like you're too much. You're at a party, you don't want to go because you feel like you're self-conscious. You don't want to go to the party because you don't want to be around people. Yes, said Bonnie. Yes, I have Taurus missing in my chart. I'm not at all grounded. Ashley, I'm Taurus sun. Lisa said yes. Yes. Joy, Isabel, fairy girl. Yeah. So you have these ridiculous personality traits that drive you nuts. And then the challenge is, what's the practical skill set? This course is my first attempt over a month, July 15th through August, to give you the practical skills, because I don't want to just talk. I want the elements to be, and here's the deal. I was in prayer yesterday in front of a waterfall. I swear to God, the biggest waterfall I've ever seen in my whole life. And I got downloaded exactly what to teach you. It was like the elements told me what to do. And it's practical and it's consistent and it's solid and it's reliable and it works. So if the reason why there's 500 people in this room is because everyone in this room has a slight fucked up part. And that slight fucked up part can be medicinalized. I made this word up, can be altered, can be so let me give you an example. Let's get concrete because I hate talking in theory. So there's a person I know who has no air in his chart, and he doesn't have the gift of the gab, and that would be the second class. So I said to him, he was having a real hard time in relationships. Duh, couldn't seem to get it together. I said, here's a simple, I'm going to give you a shortcut right now. If you walk up to somebody and you feel awkward because you can't talk, because you don't want to share your stuff because you don't have air, the short answer is you ask a question, and you don't ask a question, where do you live and what do you do? You say to them, tell me the newest book you've been reading. Tell me something you're interested in. I'm really wanting to get to know you. As soon as you open that door and you ask them the question, their air will come in and they'll share their story. And suddenly you're going to feel really close to them. So I don't care what your chart is right now. I know you guys are giving me your chart. Victoria, I thought you were in level 3. How'd you get here? It's as simple as you figure out the skill set of understanding. And Jaguar, I'm so glad you're balanced. I want you to hear this. The practical application of the elements brought to you by Meet the Elements starting July 15th is not looking at your chart. It's looking at your personality type today and which part of you is going to be needing to be healthily cultivated. Now, that brings us to the free video I'm giving you. I designed a video series called The Progress Moon. Once again, you do not need to know astrology. You figure out, like, let's say you're in an era where the progress moon's in Scorpio and you don't want to talk. And your missing element is air, but you're in a season where you're going in. That's so important to know so you don't get yourself mad. Because how many of you suffer from trying to get discipline? I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to start exercising. I'm going to start cutting out wheat. I'm going to stop drinking, but you don't do it. And then the progress moon changes. And oh my God, it's so much easier. So this gift today, if you buy today the class that starts in July, we're going to send you a video series called The Progress Moon. You're going to watch it even if you know no astrology or you're an advanced astrology student, and you're going to pull out where your progress moon is, what house it's in. Then you're going to understand, oh, now I understand the elemental constitution I'm momentarily living with. So me, I have double Leo. I mean, really, my hair is just so over the top. It's unbelievable. My sun and my progressed sun and moon are in Leo. And so my creativity has been hitting the sky. And at first it was really uncomfortable, which is what happens in everyone's progressed moon. You have weird personality traits. Like, I know Laurel's watching this. She just finished telling me a story. That's another doorway that I use to help people figure out their elements and get their observer on. And Tell Me a Story, tmas.co, is if let's say you want to learn about the elements and you're going to do that, but you want the full meal deal with Debra, here's the 3 top choices. Meet the Elements starting in July. Tell Me a Story, tmas.co, in August, where you write your story. First, you meet the element. You figure out the missing one, the strong one. You do the homework. Please make this into a retreat. Make the month of July, starting in the 15th, your commitment to changing your life. And I'm going to help you. We're going to hold hands. You're going to know where your progressed moon is because you just researched that and got that for free. Then you're going to identify your missing element or your strong one that has gotten somehow confused. Then, this is so cute. Somebody's screaming, the Mystic Stars lady at Laurel. But she can't, it's so funny. How to get distracted in the middle of the talk. First comes the free progress moon. Then comes Meet the Elements, and you really do the homework and you carve out the time and you make it a retreat, or you make a really promise to yourself during Meet the Elements, you're going to make a life change. Then in August, tmas.co, you come and tell your story and you write about it. And that's like one of my favorite classes because it's just me and you with only 10 people in the room. And there's a wait list, and Melinda will help us organize that. Then comes September, you have to have $1 million. Then comes September, you take the class called How Do I Study My Chart? And that's where the real grit, it's real work. So first is the freebie, learn about the progress moon. Then comes Meet the Elements, and you carve out the time in the month of July, and you say to yourself, starting mid-July, I'm making a commitment to do this with Debra, and I will do my homework. Don't sign up if you won't do your homework. Don't take this for me to entertain you, please. I want this to be a life-changing experience. Then you do Tell Me a Story over August, September, and October, because every month I pick 10 people to come study with me. And then in September, you go do the class where you study your chart. Now, The big conversation you all probably know I've been having, because now there's 500 people in this room, is the planet's in desperate need. It's not the planet. I was out yesterday in the middle of the woods. The planet's fine. It's the human psyche that must learn the discipline to refine your expression so you're the best version of yourself. And this is not me talking theory. Like, you really do find emotional wisdom in this game. You really do find the ability to write and tell the truth and use your words. You really do find the ability to get motivated to clean and organize and take care of all the practical stuff in your life that you left behind, or stop if you're obsessed with it. And you really do get to get the fun factor put back in your world, because that's all I'm about. So I want you to know, yes, Kathy, creation needs us to be conscious. It needs us to wake up. It needs us to be fully ourselves, but you can't do it in theory. So what am I about? Practical application of doing the elements, starting, and here's how it goes. We're going to do 1 hour on water. You're going to put your chart down, take your head out for a moment. This is how I did Meet the Planets, by the way. I don't know how many of you were there, but it was the most fun I've had, because I prayed, we cried together. Meet the elements now during this webinar, and you get a free progressed moon video. I'm Harry. How do I balance? Great question, Harry. It's a simple question. If you want balance, which is the game, you study all 4 elements. You come into a classroom. It's not a lot of time, but there's homework. Everything I do requires practical application, so we're not just talking. Okay, let's do a prayer. I want to do a prayer with you. We've got 500 people in this room. Let's take a deep breath. Close your eyes. Do this with me. Ready? I bow my head as I enter into the doorway called the elements. May I always remember to get on my knees in the presence of this holy substance called water. May I never forget to take a deep breath. Let's do it together, and breathe out consciousness. I am awake. I am conscious. I am present in this moment. Please help me to make my windows clean and help my mind to be bright. I allow the earth in this physical body to be honored. And while I may have neglected her or abandoned her, or I may not know the truth of my body's request for me to put my hands on it and listen, I am changing that in this course called Meet the Planets. I will devote myself in this prayer to reclaiming my relationship with the holy land of these 4 elements. And last, the fire. I allow myself to revisit the conversation of joy, of delight, of celebration, the medicine for these times when the planet is looking so dire, as far as the climate change and the plastic and the water and the ability for us to be able to work as a team. It looks so sad. I activate my fire and give myself back to my life force so that I can be, in the name of joy, present here. I honor the water that gives me life. I honor the air that gives me breath. I honor this body, the holy temple I live in. And I pray that the joy factor finds its way into my heart so I can remember again why I volunteered to come down here. Every one of you, put a smile on your face. Take a deep breath in and smile it out. I am so thankful for this group of people sitting in this room who are wandering and wondering and wandering and wondering, where do I find balance? May you all find the doorway to balance by saying yes to a 1 hour a week class where you find yourself back in devotion, commitment, follow through, and delight to be incarnate. And with that, I activate all of the discipline that's required that comes straight out of our joy, the discipline not from should, but from yes. I want nothing more than to be available to you, Spirit. May you each rekindle and activate the parts of your elemental constitution that are calling your name. We open our eyes. May you each find access to the part of your constitutional situation that's going on in your life to find balance and healthiness and wholeness. I promise, it's not easy for me either. I just happen to know exactly how to use the elements. So every single day, every day of my life, when I drink my water and I start my morning, I do my prayer. When I take those deep breaths, and I go on my bicycle and I feel the wind, I say, I can't believe I'm alive. When I eat the organic food that doesn't hurt the earth, that doesn't hurt my body, and I remember to eat because I forget, I am in such pleasure. The yum yum factor. And when it's time for me to have fun and have a drink at the end of the day or have a visit with my friends where we put on some music and play, I am the first one standing. I want you to find out what element you left behind. And in this process of this class, it's kind of simple. You've practiced the elemental disciplined rituals that you need to put back in your life. And I swear to you, magic happens. And today, you know this now, you get the free Progress Moon video, which I can't say enough about. Whether you're a beginner or you're advanced, please look at your Progress Moon, figure out what element it's in. It's as simple as that. If it's in water, you're allowed to stay home. If it's in air, you're allowed to communicate like crazy and be in relationship and be on social media and social media platforms like this. If it's earth, you're allowed to be in a work cycle and not complain. If it's fire, you, like me, you've got to go, ah. Yes, someone asked a really good question about if you're on the wait list for Tell Me a Story, all you have to do is know that it's coming soon in August. Melinda would have more information. I did the Tell Me a Story in 2020. I would definitely recommend it. It changed my life. I'm telling you guys, I'm not full of shit. Well, a little full of shit. I screamed that. That didn't sound right, but it's true. Can you say that? I'm not full of shit just a little bit. Is it time for you to figure out where your Progress Moon is? Because this is the only day it's going to be free. Just announcing to you, if you sign up today, you get a video that's usually it's usually $97, that series, but it's so practical. I know I'm full of shit. When I reviewed the transits for my readings, I reckon you process your shit. That's right, Katrina. When I reviewed the transits for readings, when someone's feeling us, I always look at the Progress Moon. It's dead on. I know, Lisa, it's the craziest thing. You guys, for those of you who don't know astrology, you're coming brand new to this room, you're in the perfect place because you do not need to know astrology to do the Meet the Elements. You do not need to know astrology to get this free Meet the Progress Moon. And we're going to set you up to come study in August where you will learn. Tag 2. If you've done all 3 levels and you've finished, this is still so important that you revisit Meet the Elements because this is an ongoing that little girl that was in my 20s who found the elements and was part of a cult. Did I tell you that out loud? She did what they told her to do because I've got a very strong Saturn and Meet the Planets. And so I'm very obedient and I do every single day. I think the biggest thing in our company too, and Melinda and Laurel could speak to this. I think there's a few of you in here that work for us, that work together on our team. I want so much to be authentically embodied and listen and be real. I'm setting the standard because why? Because the planet's full of shit? No, because the human psyche at this moment is in denial about so much. Can I just tell you a story before I finish this? I went 2 days ago to meet with some climate change experts. One is the man who is a kahuna. One is a man from Mexico City, and he's done all this research. And the other is this an engineer who's been studying. And they were going on about this wonderful good news, which is in the movie called Tomorrow. If any of you haven't seen the film called Tomorrow, there is good news. There is communities around our planet that are learning how to grow food themselves, to do currencies. In Totnes, England, there's money that is specific to just the currency. It's so beautiful. There's lots of alternative people that are starting to look at how we can change the nature of our reality. It's you and me. And I want you to meet the elements, get your energy back, come back to center. Then we can talk about, because when I left that meeting with those 3 men, to be perfectly honest, I cried a lot. Yeah, I cried because I saw their enthusiasm and I wondered about how much they were touching you. And why I'm here in this room is because you have an interest in astrology and you're real and you're live and you're in this room and you've got the power to change this world by you taking action inside your own story. What I heard from them, which was shocking but interesting, is that their emotional body was undeveloped in situations that was interesting, and it was handicapping their ability to really be free because they were dealing with relationship stuff. It wasn't bad, it was just human nature. But as a leader, I have to put my human nature aside right now and talk to you embodied, healthy, authentic, and not leaving things behind me that are dirty, confusing. I want to be a live example. I get scared saying this, of someone who's living what I teach and teaching what I live, so that I can represent for you an entrance into the elements that's embodied and real, and you can entrain on the water and the prayers over the water and the clarity of the emotional body, and how do we deal with our pain and our broken stories around our childhoods and around our relationships too. How do we tell the truth and speak and use our words to be authentic and articulate and not sort of kinda, but really speaking from my tummy. And then how do we really make sure that we're honoring the earth? Like, yes, I recycle, and yes, I eat healthy, and yes, I eat organic. And that's something that's, and you know what the biggest thing they say that's interrupting the climate change, one of the single biggest things, and I hate to say it, is eating meat. That there's this gas that goes off from the cow's farts. I know, it just sounds so weird, methane, and it's really affecting the ozone layer, and it's really affecting all the water on the earth because they took out all these trees to put the cows in there. Oh, Paula, I just feel bad that I'm becoming a Debbie Downer. But here's the good news. I've got the 4 elements to give to you, and I'm going to give it to you starting in July. And this is no longer going to be you're weird, something's wrong with you. Go vegan. And if you have to eat meat, then eat organic meat. And if you have to eat fish, you can't believe the story about the fish. I just watched Seaspiracy. Any of you seen that film? Oh my God, I'm going to write it down. Seaspiracy. That is the hardest film to watch. So I have bad news and I have good news. And I couldn't watch the whole thing either, Christine. It's so funny. Kiss the Ground is next, Danielle. Can I just make a note of that? Have you guys heard about Kiss the Ground? Here we go. Doc, Kiss the Ground. I am not going to forget. I am on a mission, you guys, to be real about this. So I want you, I'll watch all the videos, I'll collect the information, but here's the good news. During Meet the Elements, I'm going to talk about your psychology, and we're going to get really personal, not the planet. I can't go there yet. I don't have the full message about how I'm going to fix the situation because it's not fixable. But what is fixable is your empower, your empowerment, your embodiment, the ability for us to take this energy and this life force, put it in our bodies, become alive again. Can I help you come back to life? It's $4.97. It's on sale today. I want nothing more than for you to say, yes, I will make a disciplined promise for the month of July 15th through August 15th. It's 4 classes. I am going to give you access to come back to yourself if you do your homework and find yourself. I just saw that breaking boundaries was unbelievable. Who just said that? Laurel Katernick. Yes, Laurel, you know that. In my Akashic reckonings the other day, she told me I'm here to wake people up. Haley, come join me. There's a payment plan. You don't have to pay the $4.97 all at one time. You can do it. But what I want from you guys, yes, Jen, is a pay. I want you to say, if you sign up, Miss Alaska, we will promise to do your homework. I'm going to be, that powerful teacher that changed your life. Remember that teacher who really inspired you, who believed in you and gave you all the encouragement? That would be me right here, live time. See, I'm raising my hand. I want to empower you. I want you to come join us. Meet the Elements. It's a 2-payment program. Starts July 15th. That's going to be the entrance of your committing each week to that element. And it's nothing to do with astrology in the abstract form, although it's everything about astrology, but it's all about you in your house, in your life, in your world. And I promise magic begins. Lori Reynolds, I'll let my fire inspire them. I'll do that. The Canadian exchange is way too expensive. Well, we are willing to work with you on the Canadian exchange there, Kathy, if you need help. I received your product. That wasn't Kathy. That was Anna. I know the Canadian exchange, if it's big, I really support Canadians because I lived there for so many years. Okay, I think I did it. What if doing your homework is the problem? Too much air, then don't take the class. If you can't, if your air is taking you out, that's exactly why you take the class. This is not one more spiritual class. This is a life-changing event that's going to give you information if you do your homework. What time will the classes be held? They're held live at 11 o'clock on a Wednesday. That would be, no, who knows what time it is. And the homework is just as simple as, I'm going to give you something specific to your character. Yes, they are all recorded, Angela. 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. So 10 a.m. in California, 11 in Colorado, noon on Wednesday in Chicago, 1 o'clock in New York City, every Wednesday starting July 11th. And the payment plans are available. What is the deadline? Well, if you sign up today, we will work with you. Okay, Melinda, is there anything I left out? I'm not kidding. I'm not the nicest teacher. How do I put my hand down now? There. It's not that I'm not a nice teacher, but why people's lives change in level 1, why people come and study astrology with us, because it's real. It's a real transformation. And I can't tell you how many people I get letters from, and I even get gifts from time to time, people saying thank you. And I am forceful, Katrina. I have a mission. And they gave me 4 planets in fire. I don't care how many numbers of the planets, they gave me a lot of fire. You beginners who don't know astrology, you do not need to know how many planets you have in fire. Okay, I am determined. Classes are recorded. The total cost is $497. Saturn is the principal, Lori, and I am the principal of the school. That's right. I help people get disciplined. There's 2 payments. Sandra, if you have no fire, let me help you. Let me help you get your fire going. Yes, I'm blazing in love. I'm in love. I'm so in love. I'm so in love with this place, and I'm in love with you. So that's all I have to say, kids. If you sign up today, you get that free. How do I know what elements I have? Suvi, you will have to go get the book, The Missing Element. That's how you can get the answer. Love you, Deborah, said Kay. How can we ask for financial assistance? Oh, that's such a great question. What about the scholarship program? This was our webinar today, right now. Melinda, is there a scholarship program? At the end, yes, write to info@Debra Silverman Astrology. Oh, Pam, I'm so glad you're in love for the first time in 61 years. Ava Goodman, you have a wonderful day. The scholarship program, info@Debra Silverman Astrology. Where do we sign up? Said Claire Thomas. Laurel, where do they sign up? Laurel, do you know how to do that? Deb Costa, we love you too.
For which? Sign up for which?
For the Meet the Elements.
Oh, I'll put it right in there right now.
So yes, we did do the elements. Let me just do it right now for you. Just any of you that are left in this room. If you suffer from depression, from loneliness, from feeling highly emotional, and you can't get your shit together because you really feel sad a lot of the time, and you're on antidepressants and you can't seem to get out from under that big wave, that's water. If you're someone who talks too much and you hear yourself verbalizing and you're so indecisive and you're so confused and your mind cannot figure out what you're here to do and you constantly bug yourself, that would be air. If you work too much and you feel like you're never getting it right and you're always worried you're going to get fired and you live with this low grade insecurity because your production is not good enough, that's earth. And if you have excessive energy and fire and you're loud and you're obnoxious and you get in trouble because you stick your foot in your mouth, that's fire. That was my short version of the elements, but you're going to do a longer version. Yes, Melanie, you are fire. And somebody asked, how much is the course how much is the course in astrology for fall? That's $1,000. That starts in September. The cart will open in August. Great question. 400 people. I'm getting ready to go end this webinar. I think the shortest thing I want to tell you in no uncertain terms, it's more like a sales webinar, what just happened. I want to sell you on discipline. I want to sell you on commitment. I want to sell you on making a decision. I want you to sell you on learning about the progressed moon today. I want nothing more than for you to say, you know what? I've neglected these elements. I have forgotten to love mom. I do not worship the water. I do not pray over my food. I do not keep my house clean. And I do not have a relationship with the real practical side of me that wants to have fun. If any of those are true for you, talk to me. Okay. Laurel, is there anything you want to add? I'm so excited, Joy, that you're going to continue this transformation.
I'm good.
Jen Miller. I need a cook and a housekeeper. That's so funny. I do too, but I do my own. How long are the classes? They're 1 hour long. They're recorded, and then there's homework. Anja, if you have no fire at all, you'll have to get it. When does the payment plan start? Said Christy. I don't know. It's if you sign up, it's probably one payment in July and one payment in August. Yes. Are there some prompts you can send us today about personality? Georgia, prompts. That sounds like a great idea. What we're going to send you today is, if you sign up, is that free video. I don't have any prompts for you. I applied for the scholarship. I'm identified with your description of water as a Canadian. Do I ask? Yes. Info at Debra Silverman, our left, if you're a Canadian. Okay. And the course is once a week, starting July 15th on Wednesday. There's no discount today if you sign up, but there's a free Progress Moon video we're giving you. Thank you, Michelle. Got it, Jen. I somehow stumbled on the Progress Moon, and it was awesome, Emily. I'm so glad. Is there a scholarship program for an 80-year-old? 80-year young? Yes, you just write to info at Debra Silverman Astrology. We'll let you in. Are you going to offer in fall, winter? How much is going on right now? In the fall and winter, we're going to have the school starting again. Okay, I'm going to sign off, you guys. So much love. So thankful. Thank you, Laurel. Thank you, Melinda. Thank you, Lori Reynolds, for always being there. You're such a rock. Thank all of you. I hope to see you on Wednesday, July 15th, in a room full of people all studying, because they've made the commitment to the earth to take care of their inner elements, and the whole thing changed because of you. I love that story.